Hi everyone, my name is Brendan Keogh, and perhaps unsurprisingly, I am the developer of Brendan Keogh's Putting Challenge, a open world retro golf game with all the boring bits left in, which in hindsight was not the best way to try to sell the game. But yeah, look, today I just thought I'd make this short video to show you a bit around the game, talk about some of the inspirations and design goals, and show you what's in store if you decide you want to check it out yourself. So this is the starting screen of a game, and I've decided to go through the tutorial before this, so you don't have to watch me do a tutorial. But look, essentially the whole point of the game is there's a massive open world, there's 4 golf courses and a special secret 5th golf course, and you can just go around, you can explore, you can play some golf, you can go for a bike ride, you can ride around in a golf buggy. You can play with your friends, 1 to 4 players, which is a very nice way to play it, but I'm just here by myself today. But yeah, let's go play some golf. I need to actually walk to the golf course first, so let's do that. So as you can probably tell right from the start, it's a very kind of retro, low pixel art kind of presentation, and that's because the first version of this game I made was in Keogh 8, a little game editing software thing, which has very strict technical restrictions of 128 by 128 screen resolution and only 16 colors. And I made an earlier version of Brendan Keogh's Putting Challenge in Keogh 8 and then decided to expand on it with this version, which was made in Game Maker. But when I decided to expand it, I decided to keep a lot of the original technical limitations just to, just because I thought that'd be fun and it would be kind of keeping in spirit to the original. And it was a massive, massive headache in a lot of places, but we don't need to talk about that. And yeah, so this is the entrance to Uptown Greens, I think I called the golf course, whatever the sign just said. And as you can see, there's a little pro store here, which you go to if all your balls lay into the water and you need to get some more balls. Got a little golf cart, which you can use if you buy the special premium, championship edition of the game. Which is like what, $1, $2 more, I think. And that's, very just kind of a deliberate cheeky meta idea about, golf just being for rich people. But in reality, I just made the base game cheaper. So I'm not actually ripping you off if you want to use the golf cart, sorry. But today let's keep it old school and just, go for a walk. And so where is the first hole? Over there. Got this little map here you can look at. So this is the first hole, first course rather, 9 holes. I could have made 18 holes, but no one actually wants to do that. 9's plenty, and we've got, 5 different courses, including the secret one. So what's that, 45 holes for you to go and find and play. And yeah, so I guess the main point here is that where most golf games you just say, I want to play this course, and you would teleport straight to the first hole. That's not how Brendan Keogh's Putting Challenge works. Here you have to walk there or drive there if you desire. You have to, follow the paths and actually play golf. And the point there is that I was thinking a lot about how sports video games just go straight to the action, and they're very limited in what they decide the action is, right? Where like a really important main part of golf is, walking around and, being in the greenery, if not nature, since it's mostly just lawns. And, maybe chatting to your friends around on the way and being frustrated and probably being a little bit bored as well. And, golf video games don't do all that. Golf video games just make you hit the ball, teleport you to a ball and hit the ball again. And just hitting the ball isn't the be all and end all of golf, right? It's the main part of golf, but it's not all of golf. And so I wanted to make sure I wanted to see how would you put the rest of golf in a video game. So here we're at the first hole. Get some information about it. All right, it's got a par of 2, which should be pretty easy. So first things first, you have to put your ball down on the tee. Then you have to manually decide who you want to hit that ball, and you can kind of aim where you want to hit it. So you can go clockwise and counterclockwise to aim horizontally, and then you can use the D-pad to aim up and down as well, if you're playing with controller, that is. So I might drive it, but first I should probably see where am I actually going. So I can use the right analog stick to, see how big the course is. All right, there's the hole right there. There's some water after it, so I better be careful and not hit it too far. You can cancel out of that. All right, let's just give it a whack. It's pretty good. I should be able to get par from that. And so now I don't just teleport to the hole, right? I need to actually walk there. So let's do that. And again, this maybe just looks funny or boring or silly, but I find it quite relaxing actually. Like I don't even need to go hit the ball again. I could just go start another hole if I wanted. If I stand still long enough, the HUD will appear, and you can see up the top, I've got 2 balls left that I could use and 1 ball currently in play. And I can press the left bumper to find where that ball is. But I could just leave that there and go play any other hole that I wanted. But let's actually properly play golf. Let's do this. Maybe I can just putt it from here. Let's give it a bit of a hit. That's pretty good. So that was a par. And the other important thing is obviously, you know, that ball's not just going to magically come back to my pockets. I need to actually go get it. So if you don't pick the balls up, then you're going to run out of balls pretty quickly and you'll have to head all the way back to a pro store. So while I play this hole, maybe I'll talk a bit about the inspirations for the game. And I think one of the maybe the most obvious inspirations for the game is the old Pokemon games actually on the Game Boys. And that was, you know, it obviously doesn't look like Pokemon, mostly just because I'm not as good a pixel artist as the Game Freak people, and also I'm working at a much lower resolution. But I've always found those games charming in terms of the nice little compact way that they present a really quite expansive open world. Where am I going? Oh, I've got to go around the corner. And so, you know, that kind of like that little, I don't even know how to describe it, little like toy pixel art world is just something I find really charming. And so I wanted to do something similar. And that's why when you're just walking around normally, the camera isn't continuous movement. It's more, there's just a whole bunch of different screens to explore, which is probably more like, you know, an old Zelda game on Game Boy than it is like Pokemon. But I think both of those are probably equally inspiring to me. And originally in the Pico 8 version, that's how aiming worked as well. Like originally you would hit this ball and the camera would stay right here. And some very smart people pointed out how annoying that was. So now the camera, when you start aiming, either centers the player, or if you're close enough to the hole, it makes sure that they're both on screen, just to make it that little bit easier to hit the ball. That wasn't very good. I was hitting from the rough, so I should have hit a bit harder because of course there's, you know, different kinds of drag on the ball on the different types of surfaces you're hitting on. But there we go, that's all right. Very important button if you're playing multiplayer is the golf clap button, which is nice. And the point of that being obviously is that, you know, golf is primarily, I think, a social thing for most people. So I wanted to make sure there was, you know, a little social interaction you can do when you play golf with your friends. The other thing with a multiplayer, which you won't be able to see in this video, is that it's not split screen. You all have to share a screen. And that's a very deliberate design decision to kind of make you all hang out together. I haven't played much golf in real life, but, you know, the way I think about it is you're not all just going off into different places and playing your own game of golf. You're playing golf together, right? So, you know, you're not going to rush forward and do the next hole before everyone finishes the last hole. You're going to wait for them. You're going to walk around together if somebody needs to go get their ball. And so I actually really appreciated, I was testing this game a lot with friends during the pandemic, during lockdown, and we would just sit on Discord and have a chat on Discord while we played a round of golf. And of course, at first we were talking about the game and talking about who would go next and who was doing well. But after a while, we would just stop talking about golf at all, and we would just have a chat while we played golf, which, I don't know, I was really happy with, because I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted from the game. And I don't know, maybe you can do that too with your friends. Where's the hole? All right, down there. And so at the moment, it's only local multiplayer technically, but you can also use Steam Remote Play to simulate online play, which I find works really quite well for this game. It's not very twitchy. There's not a whole bunch of real-time stuff apart from, you know, aiming. So it actually, you know, you don't really need to worry about the network connection too much for remote play. It works really nicely. I'm really not paying attention while I'm talking, so let's try to finish this one off. Give myself a little clap. So yeah, you can check your score. So on this course, that wasn't a good hole. I was like 2 over par, so not doing very well. You can check your map and see where you're up to. So I've just done 3 of the 9 holes on here. Yeah, let's do one more. What else is there to talk about? I guess the other important thing is, like, this was mostly a solo developed game, mostly just by me. I got some really valuable help from my friend Terry Burdack at Paper House, who ultimately ended up publishing the game with Paper House. This was my first ever commercial video game. I haven't really made a game and released it on Steam before. So he gave me lots of really valuable insights into actually how to go about that. And it's been a really fascinating experience doing that. You know, the cliche of the last 1%, after all the mechanics are in place, that takes 99% of the time. So it's been a really, really valuable experience learning just what goes into releasing a game commercially, even a pretty small, modest one like this. And I'm also really grateful to, oh man, that was close. I'm also really grateful to Dan Golding, who you might know from doing the music for Untitled Goose Game and Frog Detective, who gave me a cool little soundtrack for this game, which you probably can't hear right now because we don't have any music on the golf courses themselves, unless you're driving the golf buggy, but you would have heard some of the music in town, which Dan did, and there's some other tracks around the place if you go exploring. There we go, pretty happy with that one. But yeah, look, I'm a hobbyist game developer. All of this I did in my part-time around a full-time job. And I'm really quite proud of it, honestly. Like, it's quite small, but for the conditions I made it in, with the experience I do and don't have, I'm really quite proud of it. And yeah, it's really cheap. It's on sale right now if you're watching this video on Steam, and would love your support if you want to go check it out. So yeah, that's Brendan Keogh's putting challenge. Let's leave it there, and I'll leave the rest for you to go and explore yourself. Thanks.
G'day, my name's Chris from Pixel Bakery, and I'm the lead developer on Paper Nebula.
And my name's Anne-Marie, and I'm also obviously with Pixel Bakery, and I am the art director here on Paper Nebula, which we're showing you today.
So let's get started. We're sitting here at the main lab screen very early in the game. We can see the main menu that we can use to equip various things in our ship. It's broken down between the weapon mounts for the front, the wing and the tail. You can equip ultimate weapons, shields and hull. The only other real menu option here is the destruction counter. You can see we'll play just a tiny bit here. We've started killing some of the base enemies and lost a couple of drones. We're not going to show you the UI, the AI or the player character just yet, but we're just going to get stuck straight in. So I'm going to launch our ship. Alright, so it's a roguelike and it starts off at Zone 1 every single time. And the idea being we'll collect, shoot through the enemies, earn some buffs, and level 1 will get easier and easier as we go. We've already seen a couple of ships already. Anne-Marie, did you want to tell us a little bit about the design process and what exactly we're looking at?
Yeah, so obviously we went with a very strong theme, having a paper nebula. We tried to keep everything within that nebula being made of paper. So our bad guy ships are little stickers there, as you can see, and right up to the nebula itself, which is like a tissue paper, and our paper plane itself flying through.
Some have suggested that, paper planes aren't usually found in nebulas. Was that a large problem in the design process?
It's a fictional nebula, Chris, so we'll go with no, it really wasn't.
Oh, that's just as well, given how close to launch we are. We would hate to change it all now. So yeah, I'm working my way through level 1. As you can see, I couldn't possibly probably clean up every single opponent right now just with the base cannon my ship has. It's a very, boxed vertical scroller. You're not going anywhere that you can't see on the screen, and we're just slowly progressing through. We've got these turrets that kind of track you wherever you go and just take short shots at you. You've got the sea bunnies zipping past. They're really fodder, but you can crash into them. Crashing obviously does a little bit more damage than taking a single hit. Most shots hurt you once, whereas a crash hurts you for about 3 points.
So I noticed that it is quite soft at the start, giving the player a chance to actually get into the game there.
Yeah, well, it's meant to be. It helps if you're quite good at it, I guess. Yeah, I was expecting to get a little bit further on that run, given that I played this once or twice before, and develop the levels, and I kind of know what's coming. But yeah, talking and playing is more than enough for me. Anyway, here we are back at the lab. You don't always have an interaction with the AI computer here, but in this case we've triggered one. It's clearly very positive and happy about it. Gravy, we're going to have a main character pop up now. Do you want to tell us a little bit about her?
Yeah, so this is Bella. The idea for her is she's a little bit of a loner, a strong person who's been stuck out in this nebula by herself. She stumbles across a lab and basically you have interactions with the AI as you go. Stumbling
across the lab is a great term for, breaking into one. So I like that. I'll use that if I ever need it in the future. And yeah, as you progress and you destroy more ships, the AI is able to, collect data from your drone or what it's destroying and analyze that data and try to, help your drone manufacturing lab develop better weapons effectively. So we can see here we've killed enough sea bunnies that it's been able to restore some more data to the drone lab. And we've been able to repair some files and it's about to give us a buff. And here we go. Light hull plating, which in my case, having just crashed directly into a sea bunny, the easiest player, is probably pretty helpful. Skipping through all the text, as I think most people do, but I do like this line here. Thanks to a dialogue editor, Teresa, but yeah, I like accusing an AI of being sassy. Anyway, skipping on through. Let's just jump on. We can see we've got something new here under hull because we've got this yellowy orange background around it. And there we go. We can see we've got light hull plating. We've equipped it there to our paper plane. You can always remove it if you like a challenge, but personally I'll leave it on. And we can even have a look and see. There we go. Yep, we did kill more than the total count of 250, which is why we saw that scene. As you can see, we've got a bit further to go. If you were watching closely when I first looked, turrets weren't here because we hadn't killed a single one. So these counters only turn up as you get kills. There's no direct mapping. You can have a snoop around what you could have as an ultimate, but there's nothing that'll actually tell you how to unlock it till you get there. So you can certainly see what's possible, but you can't work out how to get there until you've ground through the levels or worked it out. There are little hints in what certain enemies have, but that's probably a better job for me to describe. But I might just jump back in and see if the extra hull plating does any good whatsoever, and we can reach the end of the level 1 of the first boss. You can probably see here in the health, I now have 2 full squares. Anne-Marie, did you want to tell me about the squares?
So the squares, so our health is basically a little piece of paper. And as we lose health, little pieces of the paper gets folded down and we lose a little bit of our health.
Now, I'd say I'll take a single shot just to show that, but why don't we wait till I get shot and then I'll claim that's why. So anyway, the start really should just be a light kind of introduction, warming up, faster and faster. And I haven't tried to make it just all action all the time. Here, I'll take a single shot. There we go. So we'll see in the piece of paper up in the top left's been folded twice now, because I managed to get hit twice. And I think if you fold a piece of paper 4 times, it disappears. That's a well-known physical phenomenon in nebulas, so no difference there. Anyway, you can see as I shoot the ships, they have this cute little shake effect. Not as obvious on the turrets, but anything leaving a trail, like those larger sea angels, it's quite good. You can see you really see the shake that it does as it takes the damage. Of course, you don't see it on the sea bunnies because they take 1 hit to kill. So yeah, they just explode instead. The explosions actually took quite a bit of work and did quite a few revisions. It's not your normal, red fire explosion gravy. What was the thought behind the color scheme for these explosions? And by gravy, I mean Anne-Marie.
Yes, sorry. We basically kept the same...
I'm never reaching the first boss.
Yeah, you're...
Here's the infinity.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
We'll try and talk while you're invincible. We kept a really strong colour palette throughout the whole game, as you'll see. Pretty much everything in the game has those same sort of bright neon-y colours as the bad guy ships, and the explosions are no exception. So we basically kept them to be paper, as a screwed up paper ball, and kept the colours matching the rest of the game.
And there we go again. I think what we might do now, given the lack of progress I'm making, is jump through to a different save game where we have quite a few unlocks available.
That's a good idea.
And just show how it's been designed so that when you do get some of the weapons from passing the first boss or the second boss or getting enough kills, what you can actually, how it changes how level 1 even plays. So if we just jump back to game select, notice this one, the score's probably going to get updated soon, but you can see I've definitely had a bit more game time in this game over here.
Yeah, there's a few little AI things that are going to update before game launches next month.
And now we can equip some things. So I might take a tri-shot. So instead of 1 shot at the front, I'll have 3, thank you. Wing mounts, I'd love dual cannons on the wings. Tail mounts, absolutely. I'll take the swarm cannons, thank you very much. Ultimate. The pulse ultimate's probably more powerful, but the ship duplication's just so fun.
It's so much fun.
Shields, do I want shields or to regenerate? I think I'll take the regeneration. I can't decide which one's more powerful, actually. They're both...
I think it depends on gameplay.
Oh, and then the only thing I haven't unlocked is heavy hull plating, which, going by how I've been playing recently, is really the thing I need the most. All right, and yeah, let's jump straight back in. And I'd like to think, with almost every unlock in the game, I can now reach at least the first boss. And now, killing every single ship on the screen really, it's gone from, I don't think that's possible, to that's really not much of a problem. And yeah, now we can see we've got quite a little bit of weight here between the waves of ships, simply because, well, when you started the game on level 1, you needed that time to make it possible to get through. I might even risk it and take 1 point of damage, just so we can see the regen kick in. And of course, now in the top right, we've got the old bar. Ari, do you want to tell us about the many revisions we made to that old bar? And why it is the way it is and where it sits and all that?
Oh, so, originally we started with a very stereotypical alt bar that had lots of little effects happening in it. So much so that it almost crashed the first person's computer when they tried to play.
We did. We filled it full of many sparkly particle effects, and then we upped it to the many thousand to get the look we were after. And suddenly, when you were running it on a brand new PC, it didn't run as well as we would have liked, given it's a pretty low requirement type of game for a computer normally.
Yeah, and then we sort of had it moving way more like your traditional. Sorry, I'm so distracted.
The ultimate. It is really fun.
It's so good. Had it more like a lava-y situation, and it wasn't working. We realised it just didn't match the gameplay. Keeping things simple and to the point is really, I think, what makes this game so great and addictive.
Yeah, it is surprisingly. That is the feedback we've had most from people who've tried it. They'll often say, arcade game or retro or these kind of things aren't my thing or aren't my thing anymore. And then about 3 or 4 minutes later, they say, but it's really addictive. As they have another go. So here's the boss. I've reached it. You normally have to shoot each component in order 3 or 4 times. Given that every time I shoot, I get 5 bullets, it becomes a bit of a cakewalk. So we can quickly get through and move on to the harder level. Oh, if the...
Molly might be the first and the easiest boss, but I think they're one of my favourites just because of the way that they move, and that gas that they let off is just so great.
Yeah. Tell me about the tape on the screen. Why is it?
Oh, so if you collect that, you'll get a bit of health back, which obviously is going to be really helpful by the time you get to the end of each level.
Fair enough. And now you started to see a new ship. I tried not to shoot it because I just wanted to show its shooting effect. because it's quite horrifying. It becomes quite a problem when you get more than one or two on the screen, so you do want to kind of target them quite fast. But yeah, the pulse ships. And maybe you can talk about the naming conventions, because I call it a pulse ship because it pulses when it shoots, but I wasn't the one who really picked the design or what they are, so maybe Gravy could...
Well, I refer to that one as
could tell me a bit more about
Murray, and that's because each of our ships, for some reason, I decided to base off sea creatures. I think it came at the start when we were talking about doing a space game, thinking about the space and sea connection, which so many people have done. It's been never done before. However, I did keep that little piece when we went through into the paper idea. So all our ships on the bad guy side are all based on sea creatures.
So I think, when people are asking, well, why are they stickers or why are they paper, you can't take them particularly seriously unless they also ask you why are they sea creature based.
Yeah.
That's really what they should be asking about, I think.
Well, I mean, the paper makes sense with the whole theme of the game, whereas the sea creatures are just a flow over from an original concept.
Yeah, it's just the original concepts and stylings, really. But we liked it, so it stuck. Again, so where are we now? We're about level 2, halfway through. It is getting a little harder. Certainly, if you didn't have almost every unlock in the game, you would find it very challenging to deal with more than one or two of these pulse ships or Murrays at the same time. But yeah, while the levels are programmed and designed, there's a lot of randomness in exactly where they come out, their path, the number of them, but also the most variable thing is when they shoot. There's a lot of random rolls to determine exactly when you shoot. It's a little dice-based the way I programmed it. Like, there's actually some code on some of them that says, roll that random number needs to be higher than 8 to be able to fire or to be able to do whatever they plan to do. Otherwise, yeah, nothing. So it's quite interesting. Sometimes you'll see a ship fire and fire and fire.
You're destroying those lines before we get to see them.
I know, but otherwise I'm going to die. And after the last 2 deaths, I've got a little bit of pride. So yeah, the demo for this game we just released only a couple of days ago. It's got a completely custom level, so you would have actually seen more ships than what we've seen to date in these first 2 levels. But it doesn't reveal everything, obviously, but it gives you a pretty good flavour of the game. It's a pretty good run. It ends with the boss, Molly, the one you've already seen. And I think it gives a really good sample, and we've left a lot of the unlocks. If you're crazy enough to die X number of times or beat all the turrets, you will get all the conversation and the buff that you would get from the game otherwise, from the full game.
You do also come in with a little bit unlocked already, so it's not like you come in.
Yes, we unlock a couple of things. We originally started with unlocking quite a few things, and then when Anne-Marie here finished the demo in 3 minutes, we decided perhaps not. Oh, this is my favourite ship. I call it the laser line, or Puffy, I think is what we both started calling it, because Puffy's such a great name. But
well, it's based off a pufferfish.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And as we know, they all fire lasers, so it's pretty intuitive. And, Puffy's, I think it's the only ship in the game that gets a shield. That just makes it that little harder to knock out as it flies at you when it comes down like that. I'll try to show this line.
You've got invincibility on it.
I do. I didn't even have to shoot one to show this.
No.
And I show some of the patterns as they fly through. So there's, certain loop-the-loops use various shapes the ships make, which, A, make them predictable, but also let you work at getting better and better on the level. We'll have some randomness. Yes.
It's also extremely satisfying if you can work out the point in screen to sit and just shoot and watch them all disappear.
I know that's probably taking us to about the 15-minute cap where we're just trying to give you a bit of a flavour of the game, but I am keen if we can just make it through to the one more boss. I believe we've already reached level 3. There's a boss every second level, so level 2 was just a bunch of those lines of the Sea Angels, whereas if we get to the end of this one, we will see the second boss. What you're not seeing, because we're playing under my account, is some of the achievements you've been able to unlock. There's some normal ones, but there's also a few snarky ones in there, so look out for them.
There's a few hidden ones.
There's also a few hidden ones. And here we are, the final boss. Oh, not the final boss. Oh, God.
That's it, game over.
Yeah, that's it. You've really... No need to play the demo or buy it. You've seen everything now. No, and this is C-Pen. And it has a couple of stages of how it likes to attack. Again, I'm making it look pretty easy simply because every shot I do, I get 5 shots. Plus the swarm cannons that trigger every so often. And this is probably where I'm going to die after saying it's easy, because now we've got to the final 4 arms, we now have tracking shots coming after us, which mean my job's more about getting a chance to take out the arms than it is to, well, without getting hit. And as you reduce the arms, the number of things that can shoot at you reduce. So I've already knocked out. There we go. So there we go. We think we're 1, and no. And here we go. Again, playing with the buffs that you've got by the time you've reached, I don't know, level 5, level 6 kind of thing. And also knocked out quite a few ships. So you probably noticed it's getting harder for me, but yeah, that's a quick example and flavour of Paper Nebula, and I hope we've given you some insights. It's from our company, Pixel Bakery. It's our first full release on Steam, and it's due out on October 20th.
Yeah, so not long.
No, not long at all.
So as you can see, there's still a few little tweaks going on, but we're very close to finish.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It's come together rather well.
But yeah, the demo's there now, so go download it and have some fun.
Yep, download the demo. Feel free to wishlist us. You know, that would be quite good.
Thanks for listening to us.
Thanks very much.
Hello, and welcome to a sneak peek of the new stuff we've been working on at Trash, some of the stuff that's going to be displayed at PAX coming up, but as part of Melbourne International Games Week, we're going to show you a little something. First off, it's me, your creative director, Charlie, again. As you can see here, this is what the game used to look like in this area. This is what we used to play. It is disgusting. I hate it. It's gross. Get it away. Now, look at this. It's beautiful, volumetric. We changed our render pipeline. It's looking fantastic. Our little character is looking just great. But speaking of that little character, do you think you're a bit sick of it? Do you think you're a bit sick of this beaker, belt, alien bucket type resin creature? Because we might go and customize our character. See you later, alligator. All right, this is the character customization screen, the thing you've all been waiting for. As you can see here, we've got a number of different heads that you can now select from. I don't know which one I'm going to go for. I do like the look of that duck. We've got a car, we've got a bucket, car, duck it is. I think I'm going to go for a yellow duck. You can also change your torsos, which is very exciting. We've got a clock, we've got some books, we've got a crossing button. Hello, crossing button. It is Melbourne International Games Week, as you all know, so I reckon this is pretty fitting. I think we can also change our resin color here. Okay, so we've got a bubblegummy, a purpley blue. I think I like the bubblegum. And then maybe some eyebrow action. Let's go with... that's it. I think I've got it. Now, heading into the game, again, like I mentioned, we're going to show off some of the cool, nifty things that are coming in the game. As you can see here, it looks beautiful in here. This is just a quick bake of the lighting that we did. It's going to be much more detailed. As you can see here, this is the difference. So everything was quite flat, and now look at the depth that we've got into the room. We've got a lot more realistic looking lighting. We've got lovely volumetrics, but I don't really know where I'm going or what I'm doing. If only I had a companion to help me.
Hello, it's me. I'm Hayley, one of the programmers who worked on Trash. I'm here to show you around our new PAX demo.
Hayley, you are wearing something on your head, or is that your head itself? What is that? Let me see. Stop moving.
Okay, yep, it's a little present head. It's my favourite.
It looks very nice. You've also got some books on your back. I like it. You are a study person. All right, hello, Morphi. You look hungry. What's food, Hayley?
So food is one of our new features that's going to be in the PAX demo. So now when you take damage, you can find food plants, like the one you're looking at, to regenerate some of your health.
That is very nifty. I am full health, so that didn't really affect me at all, didn't it?
No.
Okay, heading out of there, we've got a blockage coming up here. How on God's green earth do I stop blockages, Hayley?
So to get past the blockage, you need to equip a form that will help you break it. Forms are attachable objects that give you certain abilities, and this creature right here can help you equip them.
Very nice. Okay, I am in the bonnet. I repeat, I am in the bonnet.
Nice.
What should I get? I reckon double jump. Let's go with rock smash. Toxic shield sounds fun. And how about a boulder? Oh, it spat me out. That's very generous of it. So, okay, I look very different. Okay. I'm a ball now, Hayley. What you gonna do about it?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, there's my toxic shield I've got up there. So as you can see, the lighting looks very nice, but it's still all work in progress, as a lot of this stuff is. So
That's for sure.
bear with us. We're just gonna show off some cool stuff. Okay, so I've broken that. Let's head across the bridge. Hayley, there seems to be some things I see. Some corrupted creatures. Hayley, what are these?
Yes, so these creatures are part of our new AI system. So in the future...
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. So these little creatures are called spring ranas, and if there's enough of them around, they'll swarm you and attack you. So you've got to be careful.
Very nice. So these look like they're in very early stages, are they, Hayley?
Yes. Very, very early. And hopefully in the future we'll have a lot more creatures that do different things.
Okay, I just died, but don't worry about that. I'm down here. I'm so far ahead of you. Okay, cool. So we have a hazard here, but I did have a toxic resist. But you don't. You're screwed, Hayley.
No, I'm not.
What? How?
It's all you, Charlie.
So now we share the bubble, and now it becomes... Okay, cool. Oh, sorry, Hayley. I turned it off.
Thank you.
So we're sharing the toxic resist. Okay, so that's nice. We've got to huddle under it and kind of communicate. Oh, sorry, Hayley.
It's all right.
Communicate properly. So, something I have noticed, Hayley, about this world is it's very sparse compared to what everyone just saw in the previous playtest.
Yes. So in the PAX demo, instead of revitalizing a certain area, we want to revitalize the whole world pretty much with every challenge zone.
Wow, that seems pretty nifty. Obviously everything's a little bit overexposed at the moment, and that's going to be fixed up in time for PAX, but I'm a ball and I'm dead, Hayley. All right, let's race you to that little tunnel. Oh my God, there's spring runners everywhere. There are
Watch
spring
out.
runners everywhere. Can I run away quick enough? I know, ball. Oh my god, I think I squashed one, Haley.
Oh no.
Oh my god, I'm not very eco-friendly.
No.
Oh, that was not good.
I think he's okay.
Okay, so up ahead, I've got toxicity in the world, like more clouds. Haley, where do I go? What do I do?
We'll want to head to the challenge zone. So if you follow me, now I can get through the toxic too.
Oh, you didn't need me.
No.
After all,
No.
I feel so unwanted.
Yep.
Okay, we got another, I guess, the rock break needed. Some lovely little toxic effect there. I'm going to go bang kapowie.
Nice. Good punch.
Did you see me punch?
I did. I was right there.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm heading towards this entryway. Haley, how about I go in this and you hang out and we'll just focus on me?
Okay, sure. Sounds good, Charlie.
Okay, Haley, I am in. Where am I?
You are in the challenge zone. So the challenge zone for the PAX demo is a little bit different to the previous Steam demo. So now there are multiple pathways and multiple elements in a like maze kind of like maze structure that you have to find your way to the end instead of a very linear structure like it was before.
That sounds so fascinating. So there's different paths I can take down. I'm noticing that there's some difference in the lighting. I assume this is just some of the baking problems we've been having.
Yes.
No
Be
worries
fixed
at
for
all.
the demo at PAX.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is, we'll show the players what it used to look like. So as you can see, there's only one door up ahead and there's nothing to the side. So everything was very, very linear. But now it seems to be a little bit different.
Yes, so as you can see, there's already a doorway on the side there, and if you jump around, not me, you might be able to find a few more doorways.
Haley, you can't be me, okay? You can't be me, no matter how much you want to be.
I know.
Okay, so there's two on just the sides there alone. That's nifty. There seems to be a lot of jumping geometry going on. Is that intentional?
Not exactly. Hopefully that'll be fixed for the PAX build, but I think it adds a little confusion, so
I like it.
we'll see.
Okay, so I've entered an unbaked area. Thank you, baking script. Striking again, that little thing. Okay, so this seems to be a dead end, Haley. A cool little kind of evil conference room I'm getting vibes of. What's the story with this?
Yeah, so now we'll have dead end rooms. So you'll have to go back and find the correct path.
I like it a lot. Okay, so I'm heading back, Project Purple. Okay, so I'm heading back into kind of the jumping area. That was obviously a dead end. And feeding into this maze thing, I died a couple of times, so we'll just edit that out in post. So I think I've got a good jump. Oh, I just made it. I think I can go. Oh my god.
Oh, nice save.
Jeez, Louise. I'm heading into these nice, rustic pipe area. My philosophy in life is always go right. Haley?
Yep, that sounds good.
It's usually right.
Yep.
Okay, so it seems like there's a more reasonable amount spawned in here, and more pathways. So I can see how this might be, pretty difficult to navigate. And that looks like the end room, Haley.
Yes, this is the exit, and we'll get back to the open world and see what changes.
Fantastic. So as you can see, this is a really good example of what used to happen in the menu, in the game, sorry. So as you can see, only one small section of this zone was being healed just on the challenge zone. Whereas now, the whole area has been healed.
Yes.
It was super sparse before, spicy also. But now it's kind of lush and fertile. Haley, what's going on here?
So this is a little construction area that showcases some features that will be added way in the future, even after PAX.
Oh, that looks like some sort of kind of cultivation zone.
I don't know. You might have to keep track of our dev progress and find out.
I mean, it was a battery plant. I'm on board no matter what it is. Haley, I'm following you. I assume you know what you're doing. So, I mean, we haven't got too much longer. Why don't we just have a look at how the, zone has changed since that we healed that challenge zone.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Hayley, is there any fall damage?
Yes, so that's also one of the new features in the PAX build. There was definitely no fall damage before, and now to sort of add in with the food and health system, we've added in fall damage. So there you go.
Right on cue. How good was that? It's very nice and lush down here. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, Hayley. So look, I'll head across here. Looks like there's another construction zone. What's this?
So this is a nest for our future AI creatures. So you'll have to, I guess, find out what that means in the future.
Yes, we were having a lot more complex interaction with the AI coming up. Oh, this is where the toxic fog was, and now it's a beautiful river. Hayley, is that everything this game has to offer?
No, there's one more feature. If you press R, there you go.
Oh.
What is that?
Oh my goodness, I am emoting.
You are emoting.
This is very, very exciting. Are these just for fun, or do they have a purpose?
At the moment, just for fun, but in the future, you'll be able to use emotes to interact with the creatures as well. And
I love how the dance disappears at the end there. Making a dev note now. Oh, Hayley, dance with me.
all right, give me a second.
Hayley, dance with me.
Okay, 1 second. I'm getting there.
Hayley, I've had a ball. We better go. Coming up, we have a bunch of interviews with the team members, so stick around. And if you missed it, this whole thing will loop, I reckon. Hayley,
All right.
lovely to have that dance. And I'm jumping off to my death. Bye-bye.
Bye.